Hey there guys, this is Robin Hood, and today I am bringing you another Napoleon Total War multiplayer battle. I skipped through the deployment phase on this one. This is another 2 versus 2. I actually do have some 1v1s for you guys, but I pretty much mainly posted 1v1s in Shogun and that kind of stuff. But in Napoleon, I just love the scale of the battle when you get larger armies. So plus playing with people is fun. So I've been doing a ton of 2v2s, mainly with Mike and Huge here. He's playing as France. This is on the map Arcole. I'm Britain. And yeah, this one is a long battle, but very interesting. So I'm gonna, skip through some parts of it. But this map, if you look around it, and it was actually supposed to be sunny, but it glitched and made it rain. But you see, there's these little lakes everywhere. It's very marshy land, so all these different choke points and such. Very big map though, so it's not like your enemy can hold up in one choke point and not have any threats to them from anywhere else. But all this kind of stuff. I'm in a town, obviously. We're going to move forward and attack. These guys are going to pretty much stay in this general area, and they have a ton of troops. Bunch of guys back here. Some cav. They don't really have all that much cavalry, though. Experimental howitzer. Just tons of units. This guy brought tons of line infantry. So they're really going heavy on the infantry. And cavalry can really help in this map. So it can't say whether it was a good or bad choice, but the infantry does make it difficult for us. But you can see here, I've split my army, and I'll go ahead and read it off to you guys. Basically, I have 5 skirmishers. The King's German Legion Lightfoot and the Lightfoot are pretty much the same. These guys just, I believe, have slightly less melee stats. I'm not sure exactly, but they have the exact same actual firing, accuracy and such stats. I've got 2 units of rifles, and then overall, if you include them, the 3 Lightfoot, so 5 total. Then back here I've got, I believe this is 4 foot units. Yep, 4 units of foot. Then over here is my more elite infantry, King's German Legion foot guards, and my 88th Foot Regiment. And then I have a 9-pounder foot artillery. So this is a solid shot. And you can see I'm moving here. I'm going to be moving across this choke point and over this bridge over here. So we were lucky that our opponents didn't have any of the really long-range artillery. Solid shot, because when the men bunch up on this bridge, if one round got through there, that would absolutely destroy this many men moving across that narrow of a thing. But over here, there is it's kind of hard to tell. This is enemy cavalry charging, going in, and it is a Lancer unit. And you can tell that they are the enemy ones because they're the ones being shot up pretty much. But everyone in this battle was France but me. So it can get kind of confusing, although most of the time, it's 2 distinct lines, and on this side of the map is our stuff. But I'm going to speed it up in a second just explaining. We're going to mainly move through here. Mike's going to leave some of his army over here across that bridge, just holding off there. And then I've got the rest of my army here. And that cavalry has now been dealt with. So if I fast forward this a little bit, you can see the men moving forward there. All the rain doesn't help that much, but we're going to end up setting up in this choke point down there. And let's see. Yeah, it takes quite a while. This battle was rather long. This is a big map, and the choke points do make it harder to actually get to where you're going. But far off in the back over here, there is this pathway across the river, and I am going to send my 2 units of lifeguards across over here. And then there's also one here. Now, over here, this is going to be, you can see some of our troops going there now. This is going to be the main battle area right here. I mean, it is one of the larger pieces of flat open land. It's right in between everything, and that's going to be that. but my opponent is going to have a ton of stuff back here in this, city still. So what I'm going to end up doing, and it's not going to happen right away. Right now I was trying to get these guys to successfully cross this bridge because they don't really want to do it. I don't know why, so we're going to speed it up while that goes on. Basically, you can look over here on the right and see things going on. Mike's artillery is going to start opening fire. I was moving some troops over there. When I ordered these guys across, they decided they wanted to take the long way around, so I had to bring them back and get them to cross the bridge like this. And they're going to go on across now. But once they're all over there, I'm actually going to take a risk. These choke points means that the battleground isn't a large open line. Now back here, our opponents have achieved that, but you see they have a massive double battle line here. But, they're set up along this road. But the actual battle can't unless we were to attack them, and even then, our army would be bottlenecked, say, right there. We can't attack along this full front. And that also means they can't do the same to us. So, with Mike's army here, I'm going to leave this half of my army over to help support with all of this in this engagement. But this half of my army is going to march around the back right here. And like I said, it was a risk, because if they attacked full force in our front and wiped us out, that, could be a problem. But it didn't look like they were going to, so I'm going to take this entire force and march it way around back here, up this ridge over here, and end up on the flank behind them. The only thing is, if I were to run my men doing that, they would be exhausted. So basically, in order for this to work, we need a lot of time. And that's what we're going to try to create in the center. So either we win in the center or lose, but the main thing is these guys are marching around behind the entire battle there. And now you can see my skirmishers are going to start moving forward. My artillery is going to set up right here. Probably not the best position for it. Mike's is over here, has a very nice angle of fire, but there wasn't really anywhere I could go except farther forward with these rocks in the way. So right here I am out of the way of the rocks, and I can get a shot at the target that I most want to hit, which is his artillery at the moment, these experimental howitzers. You can see some of Mike's rounds coming in rather close there. But that's going to be that for now. Soon a skirmish is going to open up here. Lots of skirmishing goes on, all that good stuff. And this is key also. Mike has these, in this brush, 2 units of Old Guard hidden, and his general. His general's the bait. His opponent doesn't know the Old Guard are there, and he's got 2 cavalry right here. So the plan was for him to hopefully go for the bait, go try to take out Mike's undefended general, and end up with 2 full lines of Old Guard shooting him down. And that actually is going to work. I'm just going to say that now, since I don't know if I'll catch that or not, because this battle is very widespread once things start happening over here. And soon my men were going to move. Right now I was debating, should I take my men over there? Should I risk it or not? But in the end, it's going to end up being a really interesting battle. And right here the skirmishers are moving forward. Mike's men, there comes the experimental howitzers. Mike's men here are going to lay down stakes and get this section secured. And then on the right, I believe these guys are going to fire the first real shots of the battle. There we go. Yeah, they're going to fire on the flank of these Voltigeurs here. My men are going to come and reinforce, and the skirmish is going to open up. But basically, up here's my cav, and these guys haven't moved yet, but they will soon. We're going to speed it up a little bit, and I may end up just, there you can see my men moving up. I may end up just cutting out certain parts of the battle where it is slow, because this is a battle where there's a lot of attack and withdrawal kind of stuff. Now that those men are moving, I'll show you what's going on over here. Like in this section, there's going to be times where we will push all the way up to here, then fall back as he brings in reinforcements, and then, you know, they'll counterattack, we'll bring in reinforcements. All of that good stuff. It was a really interesting battle. But these guys here, they do have quite a bit of skirmishers. Not all of them are right up here. Some of them are hidden now. You can see where these guys were, and they are now hidden in the brush back here. But basically, these guys do have a lot of skirmishers, and in the end, they're going to end up actually having more skirmishers over here than we do. Mike has all 5 of his. I have 3 of mine. They're going to bring about 10 skirmish units over, because you have to remember, my skirmishers are back over here. 2 units of rifles marching around onto the flank, and you can see these guys moving forward. Not a very fast march. You can see the battle's way off back there, and these guys are coming over here. You can see I didn't really pay attention to formation just because they have a long ways to go before they're anywhere near where combat is going to happen. But here you can see we're making a push with our skirmishers, and this was actually a mistake right here, as you will see. We should have reinforced with at least 1 unit of line, but as we push forward to start skirmishing, this guy's going to send a Lancer unit forward up the center, and obviously we have to run back. We have to run back to the stakes, and you can see some of my British infantry now crossing. These are all very elite units, foot guards, all of them. But we're going to try to run back behind the stakes here, and the artillery is pounding us. And there comes the cav. And they are actually going to catch some of my units. This unit of light foot, and we're just gonna let them take that hit and turn all these other units to fire on them. So these cav are gonna end up getting mixed up. We actually kind of have them surrounded, but still, the cav charge does do its damage, although he doesn't really leave them engaged long enough with anyone to really cause that much damage overall. So we lose some troops. It's definitely a disruption, and it worked to get us back from where we were, actually winning the skirmish, because they didn't have everything up and ready to go right then. And here you can see this is key. A large movement of troops to the left by the opposing French forces. Skirmishers coming in on the flanks, and this cavalry here refusing to die. But look at that artillery shot by my artillery. That just wrecked this unit. Very well placed shot. It killed maybe 3 or 4 of Mike's men, but it pretty much destroyed that cavalry unit, so that's gonna help out. And my flanking force is still just marching. It's gonna take them a while, and by the time they actually, you know, get to where they need to go, this battle is gonna be well underway. So you can see all of our forces lining up back here. And like I said, it would seem I did miss it. Yes, the cav charge did fail over here. So that's why I pointed it out to you all earlier, but he did fall for the old guard being hidden. And now this guy's going to make a determined effort with, it looks like, 5 units of line infantry, although this one seems like it'll be a little bit late to the party. And he is running all of them. You can see them running. They're going to be very tired. Now, of course, Mike has to run over reinforcements from back here, so his men are going to be slightly tired too, but they are running nowhere near as large of a distance as these guys are. So, you know, exhaustion's gonna play a part in that battle. Here you can see these skirmish lines are just gonna be everywhere. Now we're at an angle like this. This whole section is just gonna be kind of crazy. So we'll fast forward it, because this is gonna be where the first real main engagement is. And you can see this old guard's going to move forward, and while these guys are lining up, just start shooting on their flank. And this isn't like an extremely massive engagement, which is why I am fast forwarding through it. You can see over here another cav charge on our skirmishers, this one by the 7th Regiment Lancers, elite French unit there, and they are actually going to rout one of my Lightfoot units, because that one was too far out, so I just left it there. But the rest of these guys are going to stay behind the stakes, and this is what happens when you run cav into stakes. It lagged for a second, but there goes all of the cavalry pretty much. Look at that, just a giant line of dead cav. They lost almost half their men there. So that time it worked. And that's not going to hurt us that much. But these cav charges were disruptive, and they did a good job with them. We had too many troops, not klutes. That doesn't even make sense. Too close together there. And now you can see this engagement. Mike's going to start getting on the flank here. He's still got some reserves, Old Guard and a Swiss foot. And he's got 2 other Old Guard units firing here. So these just regular line infantry are really just going to be outclassed in about every way possible. And here came a cav charge to the back. Turned into square. That's going to kill them. But you can see these Old Guard are going to make short work of these Fusiliers. Regular line infantry there. And now if you notice, my men are now over here, and they're going to start marching this way once more. Main fight happening here, the skirmish in the center. You can see our lines moving forward once again. And look at this. I did not catch it, but I moved forward one of my... Which one was it? I believe one of my foot guards. No, my King's German Legion of Foot there. Move them forward to help support the skirmishers in one very nice artillery shot. All of this is from one of those well-placed artillery shots. So, yeah, that was a damaging one. But you can see large skirmish going on here due to the cav charges and sending in fresh units. While we had routed some back here. They are actually going to win this skirmish for the most part. I mean, like, they're not gonna completely... It just keeps going back and forth. It's really interesting that artillery's not helping. And of course, we are focusing on the artillery. We've taken out 2 of them. But they are at a slight downhill, so it is kind of hard for our men to aim there. And over here, this guy seems to have figured that the best option for him was a melee charge. And that's just going to allow Mike to line up and shoot into this blob. Yes, he'll kill some of his own men, but he will also rout these units who already have fairly low morale. And now he's going to swing around to the back flank. This guy is going to withdraw with what he can back across the bridge and try to keep some of these troops alive. These guys are going to line up on the flank and kill them off, and that's going to be the end of this battle. And then he's going to bring his forces back over to the center. Over here, it looks like he has 3 units of line infantry. I have 4, I believe. Some of which are moving forward now. Foot guards and my 88th Foot Regiment. This is just an intimidating factor. I'm going to end up pulling them back. And over here, I brought a cav unit from way over there over. I'm going to return the disrupting favor with this lifeguard unit. And I don't recall if I actually route these chasseurs or not. I don't believe I do. Yeah, it looks like he's probably gonna... No, I do. Wow. And then my cav is going to take a volley, and that is going to be the end of them. And you can see my troops in the back moving ever closer, so this was just a really... We were happy they weren't attacking along the front, because we're really banking on that section getting there. The only thing is we didn't know how effective it would be, because, you know, this isn't a small force. It is 4 units of line infantry, cav, and 2 skirmishers. But they have to fight 4 units of line infantry here. We should win that. But then, if these guys don't push in the center, my flanking force has to fight through a town where all these troops are. And that technically isn't that bad, because that would give us an opening for an attack in the center. But we were just hoping that, you know, if these guys did enough damage to me, my troops wouldn't even make a dent over here, and he'd be able to block off the choke points, and our guys would have a really tough time pushing through there. But now you can see back over here, this has been pretty much completely won. The last unit's trying to run away. They may actually make it, not quite sure. And in the center, it's still a large skirmish now with some line infantry involved. Our skirmishers are holding strong, come back from routing. So as you can see, it is, like I said, a very back and forth battle.
One of our units has used
These
all
guys
its
here.
ammunition, sir.
Yeah, he's got, what, 3 line infantry now? And at this point, with this line infantry backing up, you can see some of these units are out of ammo, so they're just going to melee charge. With the line infantry backing up, we are going to lose the skirmish fight. We're just trying to whittle them down enough so that when they move forward, our line can do some damage to them, and that was a nice shot there. Killed a few of my men, whom I am going to back off once again, as our skirmishers try to hold against this. And it's at this point you can see we're going to try to relieve the pressure by sending units around this lake through this choke point and get on the flank of these guys. And they are going to start bringing in fresh skirmisher units and all of that good stuff. And my cavalry unit is now coming back to join in this side of the battle. And these guys are getting to the point. You can see I'm starting to make a battle line. And this group of guys back here is going to attempt to stop me up on this ridge. So I'm going to end up moving farther to the flank there. But you can see that the battle lines are being drawn. My skirmishers are going to go there. There comes my infantry. And we're going to try and punch through back there. And here comes my cavalry around onto the flank. Polish Legion of Mike here is firing on the flank of the Swiss foot, almost routing them. And my last skirmishers are going to go away here. My King's German Legion Lightfoot routing there. They may actually come back though, because they have about half their troops. There's my artillery. Going to start firing at this over the artillery back here, who have now actually routed. So we successfully got them off of the field, although they are going to come back from routing, and he's going to reman those guns a little bit later. But right here, because of my cavalry, this guy's going to turn into a square with his elite unit of the Brave here, 18th Regiment, and that's going to allow us to shoot him up pretty badly there. But my cavalry is going to run past, take a few losses, a decent amount. That's like 6 there, maybe 1 or 2 more now. But these guys are going to get really shot up because they just can't return fire. And now I've got foot guards here and my 88th Regiment, and these guys are being fired on the flank from them. So really, at this point, the center is looking like it's going to be in our favor. And here we actually took a volley from that unit back there with our cab, but they're going to run in and damage these chasseurs pretty darn badly. And now back here, this is key. You can see me lining up on the flank with my force here. This guy hasn't even turned to meet me yet, so these troops are just going to be shot down from the flank, and it's not going to be pretty. You can see my men back there. They're going to return fire, maybe a few guys, but the whole regiment cannot. And in a second, he is going to withdraw back across this bridge, which is going to make things interesting, because attacking across this is not something you want to do, especially when he's in a building on the other side. You can see him moving like so now. He's actually just drawing a slightly better battle line there, and then he's going to fully withdraw. He brought over another unit of reinforcements here. They're going to go on the left flank. Back in the center, this guy has withdrawn his troops from up here, as you can see. And we kind of feel the momentum here. We've got some reserves. Mike's got his force back here. There's a few units that would stop him, but overall he could break through if needed. And we're going to go ahead and make a push in the center, and you can see lots of people have already died in this central area. But this guy is now retreating across the bridge. I could have run and tried to stop him, fired off some shots, but really it wouldn't have been worth it. I wouldn't have done that much damage. So I'm going to end up trying to move around back behind because I am not going to cross that bridge. So I see this opening back behind them, and I'm going to try to march across and set up in the field behind the town. And you can see in the center, our artillery is still firing. Firing at some of this infantry. One unit of which is moving forward. Maybe they were out of ammo, but they're gonna get pretty much shredded. Yeah, we'll watch them move forward. Skirmishers moving up with them.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
These guys are actually gonna get some good shots because they have the longer range, but these guys are gonna take fire from the flank, and my foot guards and 88th Regiment in the front, and pretty much just get absolutely shredded here. Not even get to fire off a shot. And then we are going to push forward. You can see bringing over some more troops now. We're going to make a push against these units back here, because at this point it does look like we have the advantage, although some of these guys were hidden. Young Guard, I mean, this is some elite units back here, but we've got our own as well, so it's going to be interesting. This unit's out of ammo. They're going to charge forward and not do anything. That's how it goes sometimes. And here you can see I moved forward a little bit. Soon I'm going to move to the back flank. I know this has been a long battle. After this engagement, nothing really goes on for a minute. So we will just go forward from there. You can see now some of the artillery hitting in the field in between. These guys kind of stacking up troops here. That's not going to help them that much. Makes a bigger target for our guys who are back there. And our battle lines are moving forward. Artillery trying to get some shots down the line here would be excellent. These guys lining up, getting shot in the back by their own unit there, which does not help them at all, really. These guys are actually an elite skirmishing unit, and their fire combined with ours is going to rout these Young Guard. You can see how many of them dropped right there, and now we're going to push forward. This skirmishing unit really doesn't stand a chance against a line unit when at this kind of range. This guy's going to attempt to pull back, bringing in a few more units. Can see stuff shuffling over, and now my army is moving back to the crossing over here. So in the center, the momentum really is ours. These are actually Mike's cav unit, his last cav unit there. And they're going to go forward for a charge in a second. And I believe it's these guys that are out of ammo, yes. So you can watch them in their charge. And they're going to get pretty much mowed down as they cross this field by this Fusilier regiment up there. So sadly, there's not much more they can do when they're out of ammo than charge, and it just causes a distraction. They are an elite unit, so they're going to do some damage, but they are going to end up routing. And there they go, sadly. But you can see just now the spread out, you know, how many people have died here on this field. It's pretty crazy. Not as much as I've seen in, man, one battle I'm going to show you guys soon. The bloodiest battle I have ever played in a Total War game. It's a complete massacre. This one's a long battle, but I find it very interesting just for the tactics of it. You know, with the giant flanking force. So although it's a long battle, I do find it interesting. And this guy here is going to send one regiment. I mean, really what he should have done. He's sending some units over here into the woods. As you can see, I do have the skirmishers, so I'm getting some shots off. He's going to turn into the woods and hide there. But he has more forces over here than me. He should have followed through with this unit, which he's bringing one unit over. He should have brought maybe the other two. And he's going to set up on my flank, and then I'm just going to turn 2 units and destroy this one. But had he done that with maybe 3 units, forced me to turn, and then attacked with these guys across there, who knows, maybe he could have destroyed that force and had reinforcements for the front. But now you can see it's my foot guards pretty much firing against just regular line infantry. Over here we do have a young guard, but it's not really going to do that much. We've got reinforcements, although small. But our troops are just superior here, although he does have more. And Mike is bringing over, just in case, some backup here, an old guard, which would change things if things started going against us, and a Swiss foot. And our artillery is firing as well. Mine's actually firing over on this unit. But you can see the smoke rolling off this battlefield. And my foot guards are gonna punch through these lines. Just regular line infantry, don't really stand a chance. My men haven't lost all that much. And this unit's gonna attempt to charge and just rout on contact there. Not really much they can do. So now it's just this young guard and a very beat up Fusilier. And that's going to be the end of the fight in the center. And it's at this point, once we win the fight in the center, this guy's going to see that he doesn't really stand a chance back here with us being on his flank. So he's going to withdraw these troops, and the final battle is actually going to be right here. But now it is time to show you this. You can see my rifles are taking some fire, but I'm moving up on the flank, and these guys are going to take a volley that they will not enjoy to their flank there. And now with the fire from all directions, they really just don't stand a chance. And the one mistake I made is this. I had the skirmisher advantage. These guys were hidden, yes, but I had the advantage. I should have just stayed back here until this was won, and then moved across with my full force. Instead, though, I moved across with 2 units and 1 rifle unit. Had I moved across with all this, I would have won this a little bit more easily. So just waited. That was my one thing. But those guys are going to chase, make sure they go across the bridge, then these guys are going to come help. But here I've moved across, drawing up battle lines. Getting a slight bit of flanking fire here on these Polish Legion. And you can see in the center we have 1. All that I really have left is the 2 foot guards and my general. So it's pretty much just Mike's forces here. And this guy's withdrawing with all the forces he had to try and fight another day. I mean, they still do have a decent force. We've got this, but they do have that, quite a bit of troops in the town, and a bit back here. But right now it is looking like it's in our favor, although depending on what happens with this flanking force, really could decide the battle. And you can see quite a big fight going on in the trees. And here you might think this guy's stupid. He's charging his general into my square. And I was kind of laughing at it at the time. But as he continued doing it, I realized that, well, I was killing his general unit. It is stopping me from firing at his line, which is systematically kind of taking down my units over here from their better position. So since I have to be in a square, I can't exactly fire back on that, and it gives him time to bring in these reinforcements here. Now, of course, mine are also coming in. And while I'm at a downhill, I am slightly on the flank, but it's just overall not that great of a position.
Our men are running, sir.
See my men running forward there. These guys are going to join in the fight with a volley to the flank up there on the Swiss foot. But you can see this guy now has 4 units that have come in. And we've already beaten off a unit over here. And we have killed 1 unit up here. They routed. Where were they? I believe they were the ones right down here. But this guy is going to decide to move forward here. And we are going to continue shooting him, but I see him charging. I'm gonna charge with this unit and try to stop him. And since he starts to withdraw, I'm just gonna fall back, so I don't quite know what he was doing there. Once again here, though, I have to form a square because of this cavalry charge. But I believe this time I do get off enough kills on this general unit to actually make it rout. Sometime soon though. And you can see we were managing stuff over here too. I've got a few units left. I'm moving my artillery forward, but this side of the battlefield's pretty much silent at this moment. They've got a force here and there that we are going to have to take down. And the main fight is way in the back here. So this battle was all over the map. And here, this deployment really helped me. This was actually forces from 2 separate players. So, while that could be an advantage because they have twice the micro abilities, if one of them sends a unit forward and just forgets about it, that's a problem, because right here, this guy's helping me by shooting his own men in the back, or shooting his allies' troops in the back. This is the one unit that Mike's opponent sent over, when really, he could have lined up here on my flank, and that would have been really, really bad. And you can see here, once again, I've got to go into square, and as these guys run away, we're going to get off a few shots, although we are taking fire. But I believe this is where we do get to actually rout the general. He has 4 men left, and there he goes. And the edge of the map is right here, so he doesn't have a long way to run. He's not coming back. But you can see, had he lined up on the flank, that really could have helped. This unit here is out of ammunition, so they've been fighting for a while. These trees just made it a very long shootout, but we're going to get the charge off here and pretty much destroy this unit. We've got about the same amount of troops, but that pretty much means we're going to win because we have slightly superior stats, and I do have some backing up troops. And over here, this guy ran out of ammo and is charging downhill on me, and my forces are going to clean him up there. So that's pretty much going to be the end of that engagement. Over here you can see Mike is moving forward. Here comes some of his cav, and I wonder if he'll notice the spikes. Looks like he did. Nope, he's gonna charge. So these guys just set up spikes, so I guess he doesn't notice. Yep, and there goes his cav unit. Oh well, we all make mistakes like that. That could have been a better charge had it been done over here. And right here, Mike's troops, he kind of forgot about them. They're just, he tends to do this in battles, just forget about a section of his army. And I'll have like one unit and I'm like, hey dude, we can attack here. He's like, hold on. But we usually end up winning, so it ends up working out. You can see though, this engagement is now done. Quite a few people have died, but I still do have a force. This unit came back from routing, and they want part in this, but now at this point I pretty much have the advantage there, although I have 3 very tired, very depleted units, and one of which is just gonna go ahead and charge because they are out of ammo. But even though they're tired, these units being behind the enemy does cause problems. It allows us to turn at least one of these units around for when this attack happens. And you can see the engagement going on over here. So at this point, it's been a very long time. I actually don't know how long this video is right now, but I'm just fast forwarding. And I'm right here because from here you can pretty much see everything going on. You can see my troops are marching over. We're going to march forward right there. And set up a line.
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
That's going to be that. And now at this point you can see Mike is charging across this front. I don't know what, maybe his men were out of ammo or something, but what the motivation for this was, but he does have Old Guard charging in, and he's going to end up winning this one. Over here, Old Guard once again, they'll be able to tie up just long enough. And right here, this guy is trying to reinforce this flank, but my flanking force is actually going to be able to cut him off. And this unit that's out of ammo, maybe I could have waited and charged them, but by charging them now, it gives my men time to set up in a line, do some damage, fire off some shots before they actually have to handle this engagement themselves, because these guys
Our men are
are
running.
very worn out and tired, and it gave just enough time for me to line up there and start firing. And now you can see we are advancing in the front. So at this point, it's pretty much over, because there's just an artillery unit stopping all of this from moving forward. You know, melee fight here, which Mike is bringing in more troops and gonna win. And right here, I'm gonna take my general. Last cav unit on the map, really. Mike's general may be alive. Yeah, he is back there. But you can see this unit ran out of ammo, so they're gonna stall these Fusiliers a little bit
Our
longer.
men are running.
But check this out. Cav charge to the back of these guys. Yes, it's a small unit, but the morale penalty, with all the units around them routing, that's going to be it. I'm pulling out, though, just to make sure that nothing that much happens here. And my men are going to turn, my last unit of my flanking force, and shoot down this charge. And that's going to be that. That's the end of the battle over here. Mike's melee rush won. And that is that. So you can see there the stats. I ended up losing a ton of troops that battle, and I deployed the least of anyone. Our opponents deployed a lot more than us, so we had to take down a lot of units there. But my engagements in this were pretty much to the last man, so I lost most of my army there. Mike did a good job as well. He actually got the most kills that battle, and least losses. But good game to our opponents, good game to Mike, and I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. Thank you for watching.